Welcome to the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bello. In today's episode, we are talking about putting the blinders on. Now, you may have heard of horses with the tunnel vision. They've got those little blinders where they can't look left and right. All they can see is directly in front of them at where they are going so that they can't get distracted. They're not sure how far or how close the horses are next to them whenever they're running their race. All they see is the finish line and how much further they have to go. So whenever you're doing this with your goals, it's very important to put the blinders on. Stop getting distracted. Stop looking to the side. There's that other picture as well. I've talked about it before on previous episodes where there's two swimmers. One swimmer's looking straight. The other swimmer's looking at the one who's in front of him. And it said something along the lines of losers focus on winners, winners focus on winning. So that's really important. You want to make sure that your eye is on the prize. Keep focused on the finish line and where you are trying to go. Another example, whenever I was getting skydive certified, they would teach you when you're flying your parachute and you're looking to land, you don't look at something that you don't want to crash into. You have to look where you want to go. You will actually gravitate towards what you look at. So if you're trying to look at something you're not trying to land on, you're going to end up actually landing there. Sounds weird, but that's just how it works. What are the things that you're focused on? If you were to list out everything that's on your mind, everything on your plate right now for work, for school, personal goals, books that you're reading, initiatives that you're trying to do, maybe even like workout challenges or programs, or possibly even the number of gyms that you're signed up at. Is it overwhelming? Is it a ridiculously long list? If so, chances are you're taking on too many different things and your attention is too scattered. Now, I like to pride myself and kind of brand myself as the automation and productivity king. I'm very big on systems. I'm very big on delegation and outsourcing and automation and using a calendar and using project management software and staying on top of things. Not everyone is that way. And I'm not saying that my way is the best way or the only way. We're all unique. We're all different. Find what works well for you. But what's important is to know your strengths and know your weaknesses. And one of my weaknesses previously was saying yes to too many things. I finally came across a couple of books like The One Thing, as well as the book called Essentialism, which teaches us that whenever we say yes to something, we are saying no to something else. So every yes means that you're saying no to other things. Now, do the math. You keep saying yes to more and more things over time. How many things are you saying no to, even if it's indirectly? There might be that example of you say yes to a work meeting and now you're missing your daughter's recital or your son's soccer game, right? Are you willing to do those things? And maybe you didn't mean to miss those things, but by overcommitting and saying yes to too many things, that's just what happens. Something has to give. You can't say yes to everything. There's only 24 hours in the day, 7 or 8 of which you should be spending sleeping every night if you're doing it the right way. Where in your life can you put the blinders on? What do you need to focus on? Where do you feel yourself getting distracted? Make sure to actually take time to review this consistently. I personally have my 3 goals for the year in multiple places. I've got it on a sticky note in my car. I've got it on a whiteboard over here. I've got it in Asana. I've got it all over multiple places where I can refer to it daily. I am seeing my goals constantly, consistently. They're top of mind every time I'm about to say yes to a meeting. Every time someone invites me to be on a podcast, I can look at my goals and determine, do I think this activity contributes towards my overall goals? Yes or no? That acts as my North Star from which to make decisions. Now, if you know what your goals are for the year, if you're laser focused, that's great. Just make sure that the subtasks that you're focusing on actually align with those top level goals that you're working towards, right? So put the blinders on and stop getting distracted by all the noise, by all the millions of things that we could do, but we should not do. This is really just a podcast episode on focus, reminding you to keep the main thing the main thing. I can't remember which book I read that in, but I love that. Keep the main thing the main thing. Easier said than done. Trust me, we've all overcommitted. We've all said yes to too many things before. And this is just a friendly reminder to try your best to stay focused on the main thing. So That's it for this episode. Short and sweet. Keep the main thing the main thing. If there's one takeaway, that should be it. If you need help tracking your goals, staying on top of everything you're working on, make sure to get my free thing if you have not already. It's a complete life tracker. You can track your goals, you can track your habits, the number of times you meditate, work out, the number of pages you read every single day. I highly recommend you go to chrisbello.com/free. Again, chrisbello.com/free. And you can download a free copy of that Excel file. There's a cool little tutorial video on how exactly to use it. Let me know what you think. And if you find any value, if you got any questions, just reply to one of my emails that goes out after you go ahead and opt in to download that. So thanks so much for your time. I hope your year is off to an amazing start, and I look forward to catching you on the next episode.